one big thing.
Sometimes the clues are laid out pretty clearly, aren't they? The Conference of Champions said that's a wrap. Celtics are playing a game against a team coached by a member of the '86 title team, and Bill Walton, linked in ways large and small to all of that, has passed away. A box of rain will ease the pain, and love will see you through. In every direction after this gut punch, the love for Walton was a blinding beam of light. I started pondering his life, and it's amazing how many chapters could be their own standalone story. His UCLA days seem like a myth, a fish story. He actually went 21 for 22 in an NCAA final. His reverence for John Wooden was a torch he carried all his days. Walton's NBA tenure was decorated, certainly, multiple rings, a finals MVP, very different tenures in Portland than in Boston. Had his body not broken down, who knows what he might have been, arguably still on the list of best big men of all time. He was undoubtedly on the list of the world's tallest deadheads. Big Red, easily spotted at shows around the world. Rick Carlisle shared the story Monday of Walton getting him tickets to see the Dead not far from us in the old Capitol Center. He sent Carlisle to the back door. Walton told him to ask for Ramrod. Carlisle was far from a deadhead, and he needed a miracle. Walton provided it. Carlisle's date that night is now his wife. The last act many of our younger viewers know and consumed. It was Bill the broadcaster. He was, to speak as he did, an intergalactic force of nature. We had him on once after Oregon and UCLA, and he started talking about bears. Not the cow bears, but actual bears in Banff, British Columbia, I think it was. He was roaring and growling. I just gave up and let him go. Not that I could have stopped him or wanted to. His stream of consciousness that was the soundtrack to the sport was an on-ramp to his passions, his curiosities, the world, the people, the music, the food, the culture, the wildlife, the absolute joy of living his life and doing so with boundless energy and vigor. I admired that so. As I do the stories of his generosity, they're everywhere today. Read about the kindness that he showed Mike Breen and his father. Pay attention to the details of how Walton listened when those who were in awe of simply being in his presence shared their stories with him. He remembered the details because he was interested. You know how rare that is for people who have been the center of everyone else's attention to actually care enough to pay attention to anyone else? Bill did that. He closed his texts with shine on, beam on. He was a spiritual shaman. And while our time runs out because it's finite, the universe is not. And he went on a joyride through its expanse. And now, anywhere there is light, I'll just chalk that up to Bill Walton, bounding through the cosmos. Shine on, big fella. Thank you for your life. What a joy it was that it crossed paths with ours.